Hello, hello. Testing, testing. So I need to test the sound first. All right. So first of all, let me show you the animation that I'm making. I hope it will work on here. So this is the final animation that I have done. It took me around 70 hours. This is the first animation I've done with all this effect and everything. So it took me a lot of time, and I have actually made a lot of mistakes, etc. I will talk about it later. But the thing is, um, I couldn't record the entire thing, so I will show as much as possible. And if you're wondering, if you're new and wondering why I cannot screencast, just look at the description. I have explained everything. Just read the description. And yeah, so this is going to be the animation. So today is part one because it's huge. There's lots of work that I've done and lots of recording. So this is just the past part one that I'm going to share. So also I'm still editing the animation, because of course when I rendered it with another software, uh, there was a mismatch of frame per second speed and all that. So I will do the final version later on and use as my own stream starting video or whatever you call. I really like mermaids. So as you can see, it starts with an ugly drawing. Oh, my live chat is off. Anyways, if anyone is here, you can ask me question about the art or whatever. We can chat. Otherwise, it's fine. It's fine. I'm used to talking by myself. However, I generally don't talk much in reality. I love working in silence, but during my stream, I love to have conversation with viewers. So yeah, I started off with the basic, how should I say, basic idea. I was thinking of, like, I want to draw a mermaid. I want to animate a mermaid for some reason. But what should be her pose? What should be an easy way to animate a mermaid where I don't have to do elaborate motion? Like, generally people would think, if you are trying to animate a mermaid, like maybe she's swimming around or maybe she was doing something in the water. But I thought, let's just start from a very basic part, because I'm not an animator, I'm an artist. So animation is something I've just started doing. And also there's two part in it. First is digital art, like I wanted it to be like a painting, but also with some animating aspect. Does that make sense? Hi Abhijit, hello, welcome to the chat. I'm just trying to explain my work process here. um, what I do, what I actually did for this. And obviously it's quite chaotic because I did not have plans. So people, if you want to animate something, please have plans, like what you want, how you want. Do sketches first. I didn't do any practice sketches first. That's why it took me such a long time, because I was continuously thinking, okay, how would I do it, how would I do it. So yeah, I mean, that was a huge mistake on my part. So I'm going to also mention all the mistakes I made, so that if you're listening to it, if you're watching, probably it will help you when you are trying to animate. And first of all, I'm not a professional animator. This is my first loop animation, where this is the worst part of my drawing. Like, this is the sketch. Also, if you're using IbisPaint, I would suggest you to turn on the stabilizer. Stabilizer will make your life much easier. I'm not joking, because a stabilizer, if you don't draw with a stabilizer, then it will be really jaggedy. But turn on the stabilizer. And this is the part where I indicated like what kind of animation I'm doing. So this is just some basic option that you'll get with IbisPaint, like play option, onion skin. Onion skin is very basic. If you have an animation app and it doesn't have an onion skin, then what kind of app are you using? I am a freelance artist, yes, but I'm not an animator yet. But I really love animation, so that's a natural progress, I think, for me, like trying to animate. But yeah, like I generally prefer doing freelance art, and I teach art. Uh, right now, I'm doing digital art, but my origin is from traditional art. I used to be an watercolorist, and I love watercolors. So probably that's why even digital art is something that I prefer in watercolor style, like a kind of washout style. Mm, how should I explain? Washout style means like kind of a bit of transparency and watery, not as thick as acrylic painting and all that. But recently I'm trying to use acrylic paint. It's difficult. I mean, for a watercolorist, it's difficult. And here I'm just brainstorming a lot of things, because I don't know what to do. I had to draw something that with least amount of animation. If I drew a pillow with lots of those things dangling around, I wouldn't be able to do it. Like, I would have like for an object like that, I probably had to animate all those dangling stuffs around. So that's a lot of work. I just wanted to animate her tail, animate her hair, and probably small stuffs around her. Yeah, I use a stabilizer in Abyss, but I use an Android device with a third party. Yeah, that's the thing. I use my finger. I definitely encourage people to use their finger, because I mean, it sounds weird, but to be honest, once you start using your finger to paint, you would not need any stylus. I actually got a stylus recently. Like, I got it for free with I was buying something else and got a stylus free. It was amazing. The stylus was amazing, but I don't know where it is now. Like, I left it somewhere and it's gone. Now that you mentioned Vijit, I have to look for this. But once you start using finger, you would not need anything. And I understand it's difficult at the beginning. It was difficult for me as well, because our motor system is quite used to holding pencil and all that. But once you get used to with your finger, yes, every painting. I actually wanted to showcase that, but I don't have a proper camera to record. So that's why I don't do that. But I will definitely make a video with a setting, proper setting. Once I get a proper setting, I will definitely make a video where I'm painting with fingers, because most people don't understand how helpful it is. Because of course there are few tactics you need to do when you are painting with fingers. First thing is you need to zoom a lot. Second thing is, of course, it will take probably a bit more time than uh, when you're using a stylus, probably, but not sure. Maybe I am slow because no matter which medium I use, I'm pretty slow. So I'm not going to, excuse me, I'm not going to guarantee that timing thing. But yes, another thing is I do generally, because paint with my finger is rough sketch, and you can see how ugly the rough sketch is here. I mean, that's why I tell people that generally, that's why I do not generally share my videos where I do the rough sketches when I'm doing a well-made video. But this is live stream, like as in I am live with it, but I recorded everything, almost everything, because it was 70 hours long. So yeah, it wasn't possible for me to record 70 hours long videos. So but I tried as much as possible to record all the process and show you that um, or at first the sketches will be, oh my god, I'm so sorry for all the noises around. If you guys hear external noises, I can't help it, it's a noisy neighborhood. Anyways, so yeah, you guys should try with finger. I mean, try paint with finger. Then you wouldn't. One of the reason I started doing art on Android with finger was because and back then when I started it, the Android tablets that came with stylus, like Samsung ones, I think S6, or there were other quite costly. Oh my god, the noise is so bad. There are some Samsung tablets or other tablets with proper stylus. They were super costly, so I was thinking, why would I do that? Why would I buy such a costly tablet just for a stylus? And I didn't have enough money or patience for iPad. Like iPad is kind of, yeah, they have some good softwares, but iPad is kind of a rip-off to me. Yes, yeah, I still do with fingers, but I have never reached that level because of lack of practice, little time for cosmic study, what study pressure, and sometimes I'm just too lazy. Yeah, that's the thing. If you don't have time, then you won't be able to practice it, right? And but I think it's not talent. Like it's not inherent talent. Anyone can reach this level or beyond, rather, with practice. If you don't have time, don't stress about it. Like you just, if you want to draw for fun, you can do it like whenever you've got time, even if it's bad, even if you don't like it, just keep doing it, you will get better. Like uh, you don't have to worry about that. Like I know the feeling, like I often blame a lot of things, like I actually get lazy, and I believe like, oh, if the when I was not good at fingerprint painting, I was like, oh, if I had a stylus, it would have been great. If I had like iPad, it would have been great. And I have seen other artists painting on camera with iPad and iPen or Apple Pen, I don't know what they call it. And I was like, this looks so good. And then I was like, okay, if I don't have that, it's fine, I'll just try by myself something. And slowly I practiced. It's not even practice, like it's like, of course to some extent you need to practice, but it's just yeah, what can I say? If you like doing it, you'll get around it somehow. For example, as I said, like if you're doing it with fingers and all, you will have pretty ugly sketches, like I do now. I have pretty ugly sketches, and pretty ugly basic stuff that I'm doing. It looks really bad, and then I clean it up and all that, blah blah blah. And oh, by the way, in this particular piece, I made a huge mistake with size. Even though IbisPaint does have a better resizing option, but still, I would say it's better not to resize drastically, because that's what I did. I started this painting, or rather animation, in a free IbisPaint account. So at that time I did not have a premium membership, so this was the highest size they were giving, and then I changed to premium membership, and then I could enlarge the screen. I think it was a 2K screen, and yeah, that was a huge mistake. um, Face structure that you're just drawing, I mean the facial lines and structure, I have never those basics but still have done so. Well, it depends on, are you it depends on some things that how should I put it, it depends on what type of art uh, you're pursuing. Are you going to do realistic art, like realistic portrait, or you just like me, like cartoony face? If you're trying to do cartoony face, then, or anime face is again different. So it depends on what kind of art you want to do. Like if you were in an arts class, they would ask you to do realistic faces first. I mean, that's what they do. Like in art classes, they would prefer you to do realistic faces, and then face has like some ratio. I don't go by that. I never did that. um, I generally, even if even when I drew people, how should I put it? I just looked at them and drew. I don't know. I mean, but I personally don't like realistic, so I do this kind of cartoony faces. In case of cartoon faces, I did have a tutorial about like how you can do cartoon faces, but then again, generally it's all about measurement and consistency. Like uh, why I'm saying measurement and consistency, you need to first, if you are creating a character or just one painting one character, you first need to find the consistency of proportion of the head to body. And generally I do it with eye measurement, like with eyeballing the size. You can do one thing, like as I showed, like I just here, this is just a rough sketch, so I just created an oval, and then you have what, why did I get a notification? Okay, so as I was saying, because one of my follower is from your country. I think you are from India, and he's Naftaj, he's from also India. So yeah, I know, I mean, I was having trouble with Naftaj's name. He just came and left. You can check up, like he was having a chat with me. And yeah, I know I have lots of actually viewer from India, and then I actually have more viewers from Philippines, I think. I have to check. As for my nationality, generally if people ask, one thing I say, I'm Asian, by the way. Asian. And but generally I do not talk about my nationality specifically, because I really had lots of bullying in my life with that. And like literally people talked about my accent, my culture, and a lot of things. Like I was like, no, I don't want that. I'll just talk about art, and that's it. So that's why I generally don't talk about where I'm from. But yeah, I can pronounce your name, because I have lots of, not lots of, but have followers from South Asia. Like I used to have another regular follower before I stopped live streaming. I think she was from Bangladesh, I think, or maybe India. I don't know. So she was either from those two countries. So yeah, it was nice talking to her and Naftaj and you and everyone in between. Like sometimes I do have trouble pronouncing some of the names of people from some parts of the world, but majority of the time, if it's in English, probably I'll be okay doing that. So yeah, now I'm cleaning up. Look at it. Now I'm cleaning up. So this is a double work if you're not using a stylus, and I prefer to do this because I don't want that messy sketch to ruin my work. So this is important for me, and this is something, probably you can say, as a compensation. I do it as a compensation for not using a stylus. I had to draw double, like twice. I kind of, because I need, when I'm using my finger, I need a guidance, like what I want to draw. Like you can't have it all in your head and draw at the same time. You do that during your sketching period, like not you as in you, but me. I do that during my sketching period. Okay, hold on. I need something because, yeah. Okay. Hmm. Can you guys still hear me? Because I'm just walking around, I'm doing something. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, oh. No. Yes. Finally. Okay, I just, did I miss something? Um, no, I did not miss anything. Suddenly, Abhijit is silent because. Okay. So, yeah, this is another thing that is difficult when you're drawing with your finger. I had really had trouble with the hand. Like I still, even after coloring and all that, the hand looks so bad. I just don't want people to notice it. But yeah, that's the life of someone who does not have uh, some amount of, yeah. So this is still the first frame, by the way. Another thing I would say that, if you're um, doing animation, is better to separate foreground from background. I royally effed up with this work because I often mixed up the foreground. I not often, like for this mermaid particularly, I kind of effed up. Like I added the pillow with the foreground, and I wasn't I I wasn't mindful enough. So that's the problem. Always break the foreground from the background, especially the animating part with the non-animating part. Otherwise, it will be hell to pay. Like I know, I shouldn't say that, but okay, everything went black. If you want, I'm just here. I was waiting for answer. If you're comfortable, I would not mind. Now, I generally don't talk about it on my live stream, so I'd appreciate if you respect my boundary. And as for the anime phase, You don't have to learn the realistic face process. How do you say it? Facial structure and all that. But there's a bit different. It is different for anime face. And yes, anime faces do have certain size aspect and all that. I mean, generally, I do not do that. Like this face that I'm painting, you can see that I'm drawing here first, not painting. Drawing, I just use a very basic structure. I use chubby faces basically. If you want skinny faces, then also it's kind of similar. If generally there's a very basic way of doing this. Some people use squares, I mean rectangle, how do you call it? I think rectangle, yeah, it's rectangle. Some people use oval shape, elliptical shape. But whatever you do, first create the basic facial shape. And you see there's a cross going through her face. That's what I do, just to understand the direction of the face. Obviously this cross is horrible. Like generally you need to do it one to kind of how should I put it, kind of mark the middle part of the face. Another generally I do is where the eyes should be, and how it will give a 3D ish aspect, 3D ish shape of your face, so you will understand where the eyes would be, you know. And then you can put a rough line on where the nose will be, where the lips will be, and stuff like that. So that is the basic structure to start with. And then you can go to town with the facial features. Like you can make as big of big eyes, like um, which character? Those Dragon Ball Z characters. They really have huge eyes. So you can do that kind of style, or you can go for any other. Obviously, Demon Slayer. That anime, they still, I think the series is still going on, so they have big eyes as well. So it depends on what kind of eye style you like, so you have to choose. Yeah, that's the basic thing you need to do for an anime face, to be honest. Just make a cross across the face, and it's for your own guidance. Just mark the middle part of the face, so you can put the eyes on equal distance on both sides. And generally the nose is supposed to be in the middle, generally I'm speaking. And if in case of anime the nose is very small, it takes a very small space, so it's not a big issue. And then the lips also should go like equally both sides. So if the face is 45-degree turned, like on an angle, then the face that is the part of face that is towards the viewers will have bigger, like more portion of the lips, and the other part will have smaller portion. Same with the eyes. The eyes that is towards viewer will be a bit bigger than the eyes that is on the other side, if it's a turned face, like it's in an angle. If it's a forward facing appearance, like if the face is directly towards the viewer, then everything will be on equal size. Though naturally people don't have that symmetry in their face. If we talk about actual faces, nature is not that symmetrical. But since we are talking about anime face, yeah, why not? You can just do that. So yeah, here another thing I did was, since I initially I thought I will animate the tail separately, but that did not go well for me. But I would again say separate the body from the animating part. The body, especially the stiff like still body part, the part that you're not going to animate, is way easier if you do that. just the animating part. So what you can do, you can just draw one frame for the still body part, and then just copy paste it over and over. That's it. So the only part you need to draw over and over is the animating part. So that was a huge mistake I did. Another mistake. So there's that. I did separate the hair from the body because hair was something that I wanted to animate. Of course, it's underwater, so of course I will animate hair. As for the tail, yeah, I did make a bit of mess there as well. So I'm not going to, how should I put it? Well, yeah, I did a bit of mess there when I was finalizing the animation. I should have seen that, which I did not. After I made the entire scene, I realized that, wow, I made a mistake. Sometimes it happens when you're animating, when you're a new animator and you're animating just by drawing, it may not seem bad or wrong movement, but then suddenly you, after coloring, you realize, oh no, it does not look good. Not, oh my god, podcast. Then I think I should, with drawing, I should start talking about different interesting topic. I love topic about aliens and others, supernatural science fiction stuff. I really then should start talking about those stuff, and then we can have a chat about that. But I don't know how many people would watch that. But yeah, I always love those stuff, so I should do that. Like for example, lost civilization like Atlantis, or Area 51, or yeah, like I really need to read more about those urban legends. So yeah, I was just thinking maybe I should talk about those stuff while having a drawing session or stream and all that, because I really love those stuff, and I really wanted to talk about talk about it. Yeah, it's stupid. I know it's stupid. Okay, so these are the keyframes, by the way. First, drawing keyframes. Drawing keyframes is essential, and since I'm making a 12 fps animation, so my keyframes, for me, I think it was 3 or 4. Okay, I'm just not speculate about it. Generally, I first draw the keyframes. Can't even pronounce keyframes. So first, I draw the. Obviously, everybody does that. Like I'm saying as if I'm the only one do it, but yeah. This is also to figure out like how the shapes and the motion would be, because at this point I still don't know how the tail should flip flop, because I've never seen a mermaid's tail in real life, so it's kind of imaginary watching all those mermaid movies and series. So I'm guessing this is how the tail would flip flop, like move forward and backward stuff like this. I'm just waving my hand vigorously. But yeah, the one mistake I'm going to tell you right now, the first keyframe, that was a huge mistake. That position is not right. I should have changed that. Yeah, I admit I should have changed that position. Unfortunately, at when I was making it, I didn't think that it was a wrong position or bad way of depicting that tale. So that was a huge mistake I've made. I love scientific stuff too. Do you believe aliens exist? For me, yeah, I do, and I think we are not alone in the world. There may be some other. Yeah, see, the thing is kind of the more books or videos or documentary we read or we watch, we it feels weird that are we the only one in this entire universe? How is this possible? How is like this billions of, I think, billions of stars, right? And they have trillions of planets, and how come none of those planets have I mean, not a single planet has I'm not talking about life, intelligent life, sentient life like us. Not a single one. It just feels so, I don't know. It's weird. It's maybe it's just there's maybe there are aliens and they live so far away from us that we couldn't reach them. They couldn't reach us. Maybe their technology level is as par as ours. Not they're not as developed, or maybe they are so developed that they don't think that we are developed enough to be contacted. That also could be true. Another hypothesis is the dark forest hypothesis. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It's a very I mean, you love science fiction, so obviously probably you have heard it. The dark forest hypothesis said that majority of life forms or sentient or intelligent life form, they know they are kind of not giving out their presence in the universe in fear of getting attacked. It's like a forest filled with predators or preys, or however you say it. Everybody is hiding from everyone. So that's a very crude explanation of dark forest theory, but I think that would be, I mean, from humans perspective, I understand why other aliens would want to hide from us if they are peaceful ones, because look at us. We are extremely, we are a warring race, by the way. Like, if you look it from an outsider perspective, our civilization is kind of filled with war and a lot of violence, and our belief systems are kind of violent. So yeah, I mean, if an alien spaceship, or rather observers, if they find us, I don't know how much they'll like to communicate with us. So imagine if I have taken a character from an anime, for example Demon Slayer. Okay, since you know about that well, how facial structures must be defined, like an oval with a triangle. What? Which character are you talking about? Is it I agree with the statement, there were only ones here in the universe still. Okay, so it depends. Tanjiro, are you talking about Tanjiro's character or his sister Nezuko, or Zenitsu? Zenitsu is my favorite character for me. Nezuko-chan! And I absolutely love the voice actor for Zenitsu, Shimonohiro. He's a darling. Like, if you even looked at his videos in real life, he's amazing. He's so sweet. He's just super adorable. Oh, Tanjiro. Okay, so Tanjiro's face. Okay, let me just check his face so that I can explain. I do remember his face, but he has a big forehead, right? Like Tanjiro, Demon Slayer. He has a big forehead. So I would suggest you that first you should practice his front face, right? That's the easiest part. And don't go full body drawing at first, at the beginning. First you practice his maybe up to bust or waist, drawing. I actually had a Tanjiro drawing on my channel, and this face is quite like upper portion is wide and lower portion comes down very narrow. So you can use a ellipse. How do you call it? Yeah, ellipse, right? You can ellipse as in an egg kind of shape. No, not egg. Ellipse has to be equal on both sides, not egg kind of shape. Wider ellipse on the top and a smaller. Okay, I have to kind of show it on screen, otherwise I can't explain it in the middle of this drawing. But the thing is that you kind of do one thing if you are shaping. Okay, first off, I absolutely condone people to trace while practicing, not tracing other people's works and calling your work, by the way. I support, if you want to practice anime face, you can trace over them, but not blindly trace them. I see, the thing is, I cannot explain it to you in words how to shape his face, but you can, what you can do, you can take a picture of him and you just segregate his face with basic shapes. Make a segregation, like the top part is a laid down ellipse and the lower part is another ellipse, and then on another layer, if you're doing digital, and you reduce the transparency of that original sketch layer, and then on a different layer just draw the outline. So of course you can, if you want to learn how to make that face, I can make a video if you want, how you can use already existing image to learn, or without using that image. Either way, if you want, I can make a video later on. That would be a great explanation. I mean, how do I call it, like that would be a great topic to talk about, that how you make that facial shape. So yeah, but for that you have to come back to my channel. Yeah, that's the only catch I have, because if I make a video, then you have to, you know, have to come back and watch it. So yeah, if you like, I can try that. Okay, so you want to learn about anime face because it is popular, or because you just like that type of face? Because do not go for something that is just popular or trendy, since trend just fades away with time, but go for something that you really like. I mean, of course, if you like anime, then it's fine. I thought there's not many anime fan in India, but okay, that's great. There's it's great that there are people who are getting interested in anime, especially from South Asia, because to be honest, whenever I talk to people from South Asia, they're not, I don't, it's really hard to find people who are interested in this stuff, but I'm glad that things are changed. I mean, not completely, but at least things are changing. Okay, then yeah, fine, it's great. And also, yeah, I can make a video if you want. Just, you can just say it whether you like me to make a video or not, because I don't know how much people would want to see me drawing anime face. I have no idea. So I ask people, if you want me, I'll do it. And yeah, as I was saying, what was I saying? Huh. Aliens. I don't know if I should talk about it more. So yeah, I mean, this animation will take few more these things, few more section. Oh, this, okay, 49, 50 minutes. What did I do? I go. Okay. Mm. So now I just made the keyframes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's keyframes, but yeah, I mean, this is what I started with because this is the basic that I wanted to, um, understand like how the movement will go. Obviously the first and second one kind of similar, so um, I think originally there were four keyframes. Oh my god, why can't I pronounce keyframes? There were four keyframes, and then the second one, the one I'm drawing right now, added in. So the four key frames, it is fine because 12 fps. So is I can like add in betweens, um, in between those four keyframes. But however, even though I used 12 fps, this took 24 frames. And to be honest, I tried 24 fps with it. No, it's too fast. So yeah. Another thing is consistency is like, oh, so difficult in animation. Like, how are you going to keep the tail, in this case tail, the same size? It was so painful for me. I really need to like find what the professional animators do, because just by eye measurement, not a great idea, to be honest. So yeah, but what? Why YouTube shorts? Like, what do I do in those shorts? Like, I did post some shorts, but I have no idea what to post in those shorts. Like, yeah, I see a lot of people post art shorts, but I have to find interesting topics for shorts probably. But yeah, another thing I heard from some other YouTubers, like shorts kind of mess up the algorithm, because people who post shorts, they generally get high view on their shorts but not good view on their videos. But I mainly want to focus on live stream because it's so much fun to talk to people and just blabber about stuff, like some trending songs while making art. Oh, but isn't there a copyright issue with trending songs? Like, I don't know, every song is owned by some label, and they will immediately strike your channel like, why did you use I don't know. Yeah, I actually like watched few videos where they were using some songs. I think there was one with Lana Del Rey, and then there was one with Adele and all, and I was like, how are they using these songs? Like, is it even legal? I have no freaking idea. How do they do that? Like, is it they're just you know risking their channel or what? Like, I have no idea. To be honest, one thing I always wanted to do, to animate something with some famous song. Like, I actually heard an Indian song. I do not understand what she is singing, but it was amazing. I actually translated the song. I understood somewhat what she is singing with the translation, because it also has some Indian mythology in it. I absolutely love South Asian and Southeast Asian mythology, by the way. Uh, but the song was amazing. And I just wanted to animate it, but I don't think they will let me because it's owned by Z or something. Um, and the song, the sound, the music was so good. And I was like, my god, I can make an animation with it. Like there's another thing, another I can tell you another Indian um, movie trailer I watched where the villain look absolutely villainous. I mean, it sounds really simple, like um, yeah, that's the thing. Because this song I'm talking about, this is an Indian song, and I don't know. I mean, not because it's because it's Indian. I don't know that language. So that's why I couldn't really. I mean, I didn't understand what she was singing. I did understand some terminology, and then I translated it, and there it's really amazing. The song is really nice, and mm I could make a entirely different animation with it. And then this movie trailer I saw, it was also Indian movie trailer, and I learned about that character a bit, and I was like, I can make a trailer just based on the villain. Like the villain was wow. Okay, Abhijit. Okay, see ya. Good. What time is it now? Anyways, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. See ya. And I hope you'll have a great day, great night um, after this. I hope I'll too. Uh, so this is okay. So this part is entirely on the short screen, not the 2K screen. And this is where I fumbled. I effed up completely. Because look at it. Okay, good night, Vijit. Good night. So, it was nice talking to you. I hope to see you again. And what did I do? Oh, nice talking to you. Good night. So, there's that. Should I talk less? Like, do people hate it? Then I'll stay quiet. I don't know. I just wanted to talk about the work I'm doing. So, yeah. So, this one was actually originally when I was drawing, I wasn't thinking of making it an elaborate animation. The one I shared in the beginning, I thought, like, let's try animating a mermaid. Let's just try doing it. Like, then I thought, okay, so if I'm doing it, why don't I just do it in a better way? And that was a horrible decision, because then when I increased the mermaid figure in the bigger screen, it all got pixelated. It was horrible looking, seriously. So I decided to not have an outline for the drawing, which is again uh, a pain to do. However, there was this Turkish uh, horror series that I found online, and it helped me to work on my animation. Like I was watching the series on the side and drawing. And this Turkish, it's called Possessed, but it was with English subtitle, so it was a bit difficult for me because I had to read the subtitles. But it was, yeah, fine. Like they were talking and doing a lots of stuff, and it was mainly based uh, in a village, and I really liked watching that village life and all that. Okay, there was lots of horror stuff going on in the village, but still it was a village, and it looked really nice and calm. It's a small calm village, And yeah, it looked sweet to me. So there's that. Okay. But this is just the beginning of my animation. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I'm at 8 frames so far, and it will go on to 24. Her tail is moving, even though it's 12 FPS, but it will take 24 um, frames to move from one point A to point B. However, I used a loop for her hair and other animation, which are mostly 12 FPS. So, like for example, the jellyfish is 12 FPS, the octopus is 12 FPS. Yeah. So, why did I keep one of the onion skin blue in blue color? No, why did I do that? I wasn't thinking well. Basically, this is kind of a chaotic creation. Like, I was being extremely chaotic and not knowing what to do. And then at the end, I thought, I will continue doing it. Why not? And I'll just color it and do other stuff with it. So, this is just the tail movement. Like, this entire thing took me hours, this tail movement. And yeah, I mean, it's not that bad. Just one frame is something that I do not support later on, and I did not change it, but that one frame is problem. Rest of the frame I think is fine. Another thing I would suggest, if you're animating initially, like you're like a beginner animator, always mark your frames, like which ones are keyframes, which keyframe is you are repeating. Like for example, for a loop, if you are repeating the first keyframe at the end, or in second keyframe after the peak keyframe, always mark them. In between frames, always mark them. Drag frames, I call them drag frames because, well, I don't know what else to call them. They are neither keyframes nor in between frames. They are the frames that I add for an extra oomph. Like, you know, the 12 principle of animation, where you want to drag the motion, which makes it less realistic, more animation like it kind of gives you that elastic feeling. Those are drag frames. Like those frames kind of create the tension of the motion. Is very subtle, but it looks nice when you're using it on animation. So always name all the frames, keyframes, drag frame. Okay, I call it extra frames or whatever. I don't know. In betweens, always name them and number them. KF1, KF2, KF3, KF4. Now let's say KF4 is the peak of the movement, and then you want to come back. So KF1, KF2, KF3, KF4, then KF3, KF2, KF1. So KF5 is essentially KF3. KF6 is KF2, and so on. Same with in between. In between one, which is between KF1 and KF2. Now it depends on how many in betweens you want to add between two keyframes. What's wrong with me? I can't speak. I can't use the term keyframes. KF. Okay. So in between frames, generally I use one or two in between frames depending on spacing of the animation. If you want something go slower, add more in between frames. If you want something faster, add less in between frames. And it depends also on the movement. Like for example, since this is a tail, I did not think that much, but I tried to think or imagine it when it's moving is forcing itself through water, right? So which portion would be much strenuous than the other? For me, I think is when her tail is going backward, or is it the other way? Anyways, so I think it's like that. So even in that case, what I generally did, that in the middle section it should be slower, because she is pushing and pulling, like she's using force for that. And once it reaches the almost end point, because she already has the force, or the inertia, you don't need as much strength to move, so that becomes faster. Again, when you are coming back, it comes slow, 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 then fast. Okay, so that is also something you need to think before animating, like how the movement will affect the animation. However, since this is a very basic animation, I did not go in that much detail during the animation. I tried to uh, do a basic equal spacing animation, and then I added some extra frames when she's on either extreme, like on the back, her tail is absolutely on the back, and when it's closer to her. So yeah, that's why I didn't do much engineering with the spacing, but it's best to think about it while uh, animating. Another thing I did, this is something, I don't know if it was necessary, but I did change the movement of the bed, these creases, because obviously with her movement the bed is soft. That kind of shows the bed is soft. So with her movement, the bed creases change, if that makes sense. So this is a very small detail, a very small animation, but I think it kind of gives a much how do you call it, much immersive effect. Like not only this one, but I also did this tiny animation with the octopus that I will draw later on. I mean, I would draw later on here, but whatever. Like, this is something I thought maybe would look good. Otherwise, the bait would look kind of not attached to the character, Like, oftentimes you would watch an animation and see that the characters are all have certain bright color and proper outline, but the backgrounds look completely different, like a completely different wall. Like it happened with old animation, where non-digital animation, where background artists were different, animators were different, and background artists used to draw like maybe in watercolor or acrylic or whatever the medium was, and their art style was their not one single art style. I would say their art styles were much more different than the animation. So you would see only certain part of that background that is interacting with the animated character is highlighted, and the rest of it looks kind of you know unattached. I don't want to use the word dead, but it kind of feels weird. Like as a kid, when I watched, at that time I didn't know the animation process, but it always felt kind of weird, where the background and foreground does not match. Like the foreground is kind of completely different set of animation, where the background is kind of in a different world. So that kind of felt weird. However, I have noticed anime, in case of anime, that doesn't happen. Like it happens, but not as much visible. Like I recently learned there was a Naruto movie or something that there they made it all like they painted the background with hands, like actually watercolor hand paintings. So yeah, that's really really great. That if you can merge background and foreground together, and that's what was my um, wish. So let me show you the final animation that is going to be in, because then people will understand what I'm talking about. Ah, no, 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 no. This video is annoying, seriously. So, yeah, this is the final animation that is going to be. So, I will do my stream again next week. I hope before Sunday, so that I can finish this entire project as fast as possible. So thanks for watching and thanks for being here, and I hope you liked my blabbering, and please drop a like if you are still here. It would I would appreciate really a lot. So, and if you want to subscribe my channel, yeah, do it, do it, do it. And yeah, like is something I hope if you want to like it would be great. I would feel appreciated, but yeah, I mean it's up to you, but I will feel appreciated that you like my stuff. Thanks for watching, and I will see you soon enough. Just keep an eye on the community notes. Bye.